Welcome to Northeast Georgia, high above the town of Tallulah Falls. This is where my husband, Peter, spent many summers as a child. So together, we came back to revisit his favorite memories. We begin at Tallulah Gorge State Park.
We are walking down to the gorge to one of the overlooks.
One of the most spectacular canyons in the eastern U.S.
It's beautiful. It's deeper than I remember.
The gorge is 2 miles long and nearly 1,000 feet deep. We're following this path all the way down to its banks, taking breaks to breathe and admire our destination.
Certain times of the year, they let the water out and the kayakers are allowed to come down.
For those not in a boat, there are steps. 1,062 of them, to be exact. I can't say they didn't warn me, but the views along the way were encouraging. As long as you're not afraid of heights. We're on the North Rim Trail, and it's lined with flowers.
These are rhododendrons. People chase the bloom, like someone might chase the leaves turning colors, but they chase the blooms. Different varieties of pinks and reds cover the landscape.
They are sure pretty.
The sound of the water below is getting louder, which means we are getting closer.
Ooh, there it is.
Hidden in the foliage
Right in there.
is the halfway point, a suspension bridge.
You good with the height?
Oh yeah.
The bridge sways 80 feet above the rocky bottom.
A couple people just joined us on the bridge, and now you can really feel the suspension part of the bridge. It's starting to wobble. What changes are you seeing?
As we go down, the ecosystem's changing. There's ferns. Apparently there's all sorts of amphibians that live here that don't live anywhere else in this area.
In less than an hour, we arrived at the floor of Tallulah Falls Gorge.
Wow. Feel good to be back?
Yeah.
Now comes the challenge of climbing back up.
With a few pit stops on the way.
Fortunately, the views were just as beautiful from the opposite side on the South Rim Trail. We are able to enjoy this park thanks to a woman named Helen Longstreet, born in 1863. She was one of Georgia's first conservationists
Almost there?
and worked tirelessly to make Tallulah Gorge a state park.
We just realized there is a bit of a scent in the air, and we're trying to figure out how to describe it. What does it smell like?
Kind of sweet.
Kind of sweet and super fresh.
We climbed 51 floors back to the top.
So we started over there, walked down that way, went over the suspension bridge right there, came across, and then came back up.
The finale of our first hike confirmed this.
Georgia is beautiful.
During our time here, we're renting this Airbnb in the town of Tiger. It's called the Cozy Mountain Getaway. It's 600 square feet, has 3 beds, 2 of which are upstairs in the loft. It comes equipped with a fireplace and entertainment from my childhood. Maybe yours too.
Cabin building, very serious.
It's just as fun as I remember.
Cheers.
Cheers.
The back patio was a perfect spot to enjoy the canopy of trees that surrounded us in the Blue Ridge Mountains. The sounds of the forest paired well with the classic music from the cabin's collection of records. This cozy mountain getaway served as our home base each night, while our days were spent exploring the countryside and the surrounding states. A 45-minute drive north and then east took us into North Carolina along the Mountain Waters Scenic Byway. Roadside waterfalls gave us plenty of reasons to pull over and pause for a moment. The largest waterfall we saw was the Kulassaja River. Its name comes from a Cherokee word meaning honey locust place. It was an adventurous hike down to the base. And this was our view once we got there. Our next stop was an hour's drive south to South Carolina.
It's beautiful.
And the Chattooga River. This is one of the few remaining free-flowing rivers in the southeast. Its cooler waters welcome swimmers, whitewater rafters, and anglers fishing for trout. Our drive circled back to where we started, Tallulah Falls, and the reason we came to Northeast Georgia.
And his friends had this, the village.
Our goal was to visit places from Peter's childhood.
What are we driving up to?
Just passing the trading post.
So your family used to own this a long time ago?
Yeah.
Nearby is the gravesite of Peter's grandfather, Alexander Sandry. His friends called him Sandy, and Peter called him Papa. Before we came on this trip, a good friend told me to take pictures of the places significant to Peter, and I'm so glad I did. Because look at what appeared in my lens. Peter said in this moment, he was praying, offering love to his grandfather, and asking forgiveness for any shortcomings as a grandson. Our trip ended with hearts full of gratitude. For the adventure,
It's beautiful. I'm a little concerned about the steps going up.
the roadside attractions, and the unexpected gifts of revisiting great memories. If you would like us to feature one of your favorite spots, send us an email. Text us today at nbcuni.com.